Who knows somebody who likes to be different? They just don't like to fit in with a crowd. They like to stand out. They wear crazy clothes, maybe crazy makeup, maybe crazy fingernails and toes and, you know, tattoos or whatever it is, jewelry, you name it. Who knows someone like that? I think we all do. And they are super colorful, very entertaining typically. This could very well be the Enneagram number 4 that you're dealing with. And look, they are great fun. They are the artists of the world. They are the entertainers of the world. They are very comfortable normally in the limelight. But there's 2 different ways of limelight, and sometimes I have to, you know, differentiate this for folks. So there's the limelight kings and queens that are very comfortable, say on stage, on film, you know, where they literally are directly in the spotlight, and they're really comfortable, stand-up comedians, that kind of thing. I mean, it's just great. I mean, to have the level of confidence to be able to do that, how awesome. But artists and 4s can express themselves in different ways and still get attention. So it might be through their writing, you know, a well-known author, a poet. It might be songwriting. It might be singing the songs. You know, they might have a combination of, you know, singing it out on stage and also writing. It might be that they are channeling their artistry in sculpture or painting or whatever medium floats their boat, basically. Something that's a little bit different, that's out of the norm, quite often disruptors. And one of the ways that you can actually tell if they are a 4 or not is that they don't like to be pigeonholed. In fact, they don't like to be labeled at all. So, you know, this would probably even be uncomfortable for them to accept that this is actually, you know, don't put me in the 4 box. You know, this is the I don't fit in no box. I'm who I am. I'm unique and I stand out. And whilst that is true, you will also find, or I find, that there, as much as they're trying to be different, there's quite a lot of them all being different together, following a similar theme. So you might have the goths, and you might have the punks, and, you know, so there is a theme within it. And then, you know, they're all kind of crazy and do their own, like, you know, standing out stuff within the group, but there still is a group type. So the unhealthy 4s can actually be quite a challenge to work with, because, you know, the higher up the Richter scale is when they start shifting from a place of, oh, it's quite nice to be in the limelight, don't really mind if I am or I'm not. The unhealthy 4s can be, it shifts into a need. I have to be the center of attention at a party. I have to be the one that is the lead role of that play. I have to be, it's when it shifts to that, I need to be noticed. I have to. It's like a craving, it's a desire, it's a, and if it doesn't get filled, the wheels can totally come off. So they can be quite demanding, and, you know, it's interesting to watch when an unhealthy 4 walks into a room, and, you know, I've known people like this, and someone bigger and more well-known might walk into the room, and suddenly the attention is shifted from them to this other person, and they have not a quiet meltdown normally. Normally it's quite noticeable because they're trying to outshine the other one, and then it starts becoming like a competition. So it is quite an interesting dynamic to work with. You know, I call it Spanish dancing. Like, they really do the stomping of their feet. If they don't get their own way, they want it. You know, I think of the prima donna who doesn't get her lead role. You know, I'm just gonna, you know, be over the top and cry and make a scene, and hopefully they'll change their minds. So the idea for them is, how do we get, again, the balance? What, you know, these performing shoes, these tap shoes, these artistry shoes or whatever, instead of using it from the competitive nature and having a need, is losing the need and creating space so that there's other people around them that are allowed to have their voice, that are allowed to perform in their way, and in fact will enhance their performance better if they allow them to. So it's letting go of the need to be the limelight queen. Okay, so you can be real divas if you're an extreme 4. And look, there's no right or wrong. I mean, if we don't know these things, how can we change them, right? I mean, if we're not inclined to know that if I'm wearing my diva shoes and I'm doing my little Spanish dancing session over here, actually that's going to have the opposite effect to actually what I'm wanting, which is actually to get that position or to have it inclusive, or maybe there's a bigger position out there for me that is more acceptable. If we don't know that from the start, which is what the whole point of the Enneagram and the shoe psychology stuff is all about, then how are you going to change it? So, you know, I go into all of this stuff, as I've mentioned before, I'm writing my book, a long way off yet, so don't panic. You know, there's no major, and honestly there's no stress. If it works for you, get it. If you don't, then that's fine. You know, just hop on board, listen to these very quick videos. They're less than 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. We're all women, very busy lives, often mums, you know, that are trying to squeeze something in some way, and this is something that you can just listen to on the go, while you're in, you know, your car or on the tube or wherever it is that you are, whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you're exercising, doing your chores, and just take that bite-sized snippet. So the exercise for you today is take this away and start going, looking around you and going, who's a 4 in my life? You know, who demands the attention? Who's an unhealthy 4? Who could be a really good, well-balanced 4? You know, and maybe, and start noticing, like, oh, okay, you're the quiet artist and you're a balanced 4. You know, you're the diva who does the Spanish dancing, you're the unhealthy 4. And, you know, if you recognize this in yourself, absolutely fine. This is the starting point to the journey of the new you and having a more, you know, self-fulfilled and purposeful life. So, you know, let's walk that journey together. And if this has worked for you, please let me know. Can you just say thank you? I am finding this information really useful. If you can just put that in the comments box below, and if you like it, you know, can you just thumbs up it, you know, share it, like it, subscribe, whatever, anything. And I would really appreciate that, just to get the word out so that we can start creating a supportive tribe of ladies who walk in the shoes that they want to walk with, on the paths that they want to walk on. So you have a delightful day. Thank you for making time, as always. Namaste.